Welcome to my heavy metal kitchen. Today I'm going to be talking about something new I didn't expect to talk about at all because I do like old traditional hard rock and heavy metal. I'm going to talk about a couple bands. I'm also going to talk about some changes to my channel. I'll get into that after the bands. So first of all, I want to talk about a band that I've been kind of ignoring for a little while, and I'm talking about Stanley Simmons. I thought to myself, well, these kids just have about every opportunity. They're with their fathers, Gene and Paul. So I don't know, I just wasn't really interested. But I gained some interest after I heard a song, Dancing While the World is Ending, and I thought the first verse had to do a double take, as I said, is that Paul? I hear the calling and I can't, there's no place I'd rather be. Nick sounds a lot like Dad as well. No, it's obviously it's just in them, and they do not want to sound like their Kiss or their parents. I guess Americana folk. It sounds like, you know, perfect pop music that you hear on the radio. I really liked it a lot. Check it out, and I'll put the link in the description. And another band that just hit my radar yesterday, I heard from my friend Michael, and that's a band called Angine de Poitrine, and a lot of people are talking about them now, as I see. Really different avant math rock, I guess you'd call it, with those different time signatures. And you know, it's funny, I was just talking about this in my last video about what can be done that hasn't already been done in music, and this kind of hits the nail on the head right here, because I brought up Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix, you know, and most people said Jimmy Page as the preference, but of all the things that have evolved through that blueprint, I call it a blueprint of music that bands have followed, they've pretty much stuck to the blueprint, you know. Can you sing to it? Can you hum to it? Can you dance to it? You know, we're kind of used to that 4-beat rhythm, which we're not getting here with Angine de Poitrine. And let's just say their appearance is probably the first thing that got my attention. They're from French Canada, and they don't speak English. They have their own way of talking, and it's kind of strange. I'll play some of it for you.
L'équipe du SEM a concocté une programmation de feu.
I think they're two guys. I thought the guitar player bassist, he uses a double neck guitar, but it's definitely custom made, because you'll see the fretboard is completely different from that of a regular guitar. See him using his feet, or his or her, I don't know, feet, not just to click the knobs, so to turn the knobs actually a certain way. Angine de Poitrine, translated in English to angina pectoris, which is a medical term used for a crushing pain sensation related to the blood not going to the heart. Yeah. So that's what Angine de Poitrine means. It's not how we're used to hearing music, that's for sure. I guess they call it avant math rock. Normally I wouldn't like this kind of music, but I found myself kind of intrigued by it. I don't know, it hit me a little different. And I like that, and I guess it's a big FU to AI. But I definitely like Stanley Simmons and also this new band, Angine de Poitrine. Another thing, I want to talk about my channel now. I really hate to do this. I don't like change. I'm very much, I consider myself sort of an old soul. I've always been this way. Maybe it's because I was an only child, I don't know. But I like things that are old. I don't like change. I don't think many of us do, but you'll notice that I don't tell people to subscribe or like my videos, because I feel like I just don't feel right doing that, because if you like my stuff, you'll watch it. I don't have to tell you. But I do have to tell you that I'm probably going to be not doing this channel anymore in favor of a new one. And the reason why is because ever since 2006, YouTube has changed a lot. Well, there was once a time where my videos were shown, but there's too many things against it. A, being the name, because it's called the Heavy Metal Kitchen. Heavy metal is a genre of rock music, whereas kitchen is a totally different subject. You know, when it comes to categorizing these videos, you know, when you make a video, it's not just hitting people because of their subscriber count, but it's also hitting their interest. And you can't have two different interests in it. It's not going to work. And therefore YouTube will not show your videos. They've gotten very specific on that. I talk about two things, which is great, but there's also other things that I like to talk about. I like to talk about photography. I like to engage in the visual arts, and I like to paint, and I love fashion, jewelry, all that stuff. Music mostly. What I've been reading, that's what the best advice is, to just start a new channel. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And if I have to start at 0 subscribers, then that's the way it is. And people will find me. And yeah, I'm just going to try it that way. Why not? I've thought of some titles because I love the name Heavy Metal Kitchen so much. I really did. That was a really quick, easy one to come up with because I just thought it had a great ring to it. So, being that I like old things, I thought of old soul, new tricks. Now, because I have learned a lot along the way. I'm 52 and I graduated in 92, and back then we didn't have computer classes. They didn't start making that a requirement until 1993. By that point I was in college, and it seemed like everybody knew the computer already. And I was lagging behind with my word processor, but somehow I made it through, and I went to the library and was able to learn a lot and do it the old-fashioned way. And I like old-fashioned. I like the wisdom I've learned along the years. My parents were very much like that. It used to drive me crazy because I'd say, you know, this is the 1980s. You know, get with the program. That's what I wanted to tell them. This is the new way. Why are you talking about old things? This is 80s. This is the 90s, whatever it was. And that used to bother me, but I get it now. So I think my son is treating me that way too. And thanks for watching his videos. He's really gaining a lot with this new band. I'm really proud of him. Anyway, love my traditional stuff. So here's some other ideas I have as far as names for a new channel. I hate the word retro rocker. Coffee clatch. A clatch is a word. I use that word. It's kind of an old school word, so I actually thought of clatch. Heavy metal kitchen. Now, see, I can't use kitchen, but I'd love to use clatch as a word because it means group. Usually or it could be heavy metal coffee clatch. How about that? Heavy metal thunder clatch. See, when I think of heavy metal, I think of that song Born to Be Wild. That's where my mind goes. And what else did I have? Oh, I don't like the word old, but I love golden. Like, usually somebody will say, oh, I like the golden oldies, you know, because I work with older people. So I thought golden rockers clatch, golden rockers, something like that. Or not. But another idea, never too late. Sounds a little cliche, but old soul, new tricks. Sounds a little kitschy. Anyway, I'm going to have to come up with something else. I'm going to come up with something else, and it's going to be not that name, Heavy Metal Kitchen, but Heavy Metal something. I don't know. I'm still on the thinking about this, so maybe you could help me out and come up with a name. What do you think? I know that I have really nice subs here, and I appreciate that, and you're all very nice, and I've learned so much just hearing people's input. It's really helpful. So anyway, I'm going to think on that, and it was nice to talk about something new today, and you know, the change which is inevitable. from this channel. But next week I'm going to be doing a track versus track with Trevor. He has his own podcast, and I'll put that link in the description. We're going to be doing a track versus track album battle on Britney Fox debut versus Bite Down Hard. Same amount of tracks, different singers, so that should be very interesting. And I did a album medley for the first album, very special to me. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on my Heavy Metal Kitchen. Have a great week. Bye-bye.